Have you ever wondered what it takes to save a culture? Well, today we're diving into the incredible story of how one of India's smallest states fought for its very identity. And this wasn't a fight decided by politicians in some back room. Nope. This was decided by the people themselves, in a vote that has never, ever been repeated in India's history.
But our story actually starts pretty recently, with a true trailblazer. In 2020, the world of Indian finance lost a giant, Ayesha De Sikera. She was a powerhouse dealmaker, a leader in global finance, and, as she would proudly tell anyone, a daughter of Goa.
So what was it about Goa that inspired such incredible pride in her? To really get that, we need to rewind the clock, back 2 generations, to her grandfather, a man named Dr. Jack de Sequeira, and the monumental battle he led that would forever shape the destiny of his homeland.
All right, so let's set the scene. We're going back to the 1960s, a time when Goa's entire future was hanging by a thread.
So picture this. After 450 years under Portuguese rule, Goa is annexed by India in 1961. At the same time, the rest of the country is being reorganized, drawing state lines based on language. And suddenly, this newly formed territory finds itself at a massive political and cultural crossroads.
This conflict basically created 2 opposing teams. On one side, you had the MGP. Their big idea? Merge Goa with the huge neighboring state of Maharashtra. Their argument was that Goa's language, Konkani, was really just a dialect of Marathi. But on the other side, you had Jack de Sequeira's party, the UGP. They said, no way. They argued that Goa had a completely unique identity, one that was forged over centuries, and merging would simply erase it.
Then came Goa's first ever elections in 1963. The pro-merger MGP won a majority, 16 out of 30 seats. Now for them, this was it. This was a clear sign from the people. Their leader basically declared victory and said the merger with Maharashtra should happen right away.
So with the government literally planning to use its new majority to vote Goa out of existence, the opposition knew they had to do something, and they had to do it fast.
Okay, so here's the crucial point. In India's system, having the assembly vote on it was the normal way to do things. But Jack de Sequeira argued that this decision, the very existence of Goa, was way too big to be left to just 30 politicians. He believed the people themselves had to be the ones to decide.
And so he began this absolutely tireless campaign. He and his delegation met with not 1, not 2, but 3 successive prime ministers, Nehru, then Shastri, and finally Indira Gandhi, with one single unwavering demand: let the people of Goa decide their own fate with a direct vote.
And you know what? He did it. He actually succeeded. The Indian Parliament passed a special act to allow for what they called an opinion poll. And to make sure it was a fair fight, the UGP demanded and got the resignation of the pro-merger government before the vote took place. So, the stage was set. The vote was scheduled for January 16, 1967, and it kicked off one of the most passionate, high-stakes campaigns you can imagine. The choice on the ballot was made incredibly simple. It was represented by 2 symbols that everyone, whether they could read or not, could understand. A flower meant you wanted to merge with Maharashtra. 2 leaves meant you wanted to stay separate. Simple as that.
And this quote right here, this became Jack de Sequeira's powerful rallying cry. The man was a gifted speaker, and he thundered this message at hundreds of public meetings, just galvanizing the anti-merger movement with this incredible vision of Goan pride. But this wasn't just a political thing. It was a full-blown cultural awakening. You had artists, musicians, and poets all mobilizing to save their unique heritage. Songs became anthems. This wasn't just a fight for a vote. It was a fight for the very soul of Goa.
And finally, the day of the decision arrived. The turnout was absolutely massive. An incredible 82% of the people came out to cast their ballots.
So, after all the years of political fighting, all the intense campaigning, the fate of a 450-year-old culture, a unique identity in the vast tapestry of India, it all rested on the outcome of this one single day.
And the results? Well, they were stunning. By a clear majority, the people of Goa voted to protect their distinct identity. The 2 leaves had triumphed over the flower.
But here's what's truly amazing. Look at that number. The margin of victory, the thing that decided the future of an entire culture, came down to just over 34,000 votes. It's a powerful reminder that every single ballot mattered.
And this one day of direct democracy had huge, permanent consequences.
It didn't just keep Goa separate, it actually paved the way for it to eventually become a full-fledged state in 1987, and for its language, Konkani, to finally get official recognition.
And of course, this historic, unbelievable victory cemented the legacy of the man who championed the cause right from the very beginning. For his relentless, unwavering determination to secure a referendum against all odds, Dr. Jacques de Sequeira is remembered to this day as the architect of this incredible democratic triumph. He is revered, quite rightly, as the father of the opinion poll.
And that legacy of service didn't stop with him. It continued through his family. His son, Erasmo, became a member of parliament. And his granddaughter, well, that was Aisha de Sequeira, the titan of Indian finance we started with, who always carried the pride of the state her grandfather literally fought to save.
You know, the Goa opinion poll remains this incredibly powerful and really rare example of direct democracy in action. It was a moment when the people, not the politicians, got to draw the map and write their own future. And it leaves you with a pretty big question, doesn't it? In a world so often run by representatives, how often should the people themselves really be given the final say?